Stop.
One's a former NFL star turned esports coach.
I was getting the stink eye from my wife. She's like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing."
And one's a dad who can't stop playing Rocket League.
These kids these days, they're like, blah, 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 blah. We're used to jump and run.
Together, they welcome you to Ahman Green's Gamers Lounge.
Welcome to Ahman Green's Gamers Lounge. I'm your host, Ahman Green, and I'm rolling solo today. So, I'm doing couch co-op by myself. But my good friend and co-host, John Adias, he is off on the road with the Lady Badgers basketball squad that won their first round matchup, I believe, in the Big Ten tourney. So I believe he's in Minneapolis right now. So good luck to the Wisconsin Ladies Badgers basketball team. And John, how you doing? Hope everything's safe up there. And we're here live in my good friends Sean and Tony, and my man Aaron just walked out of the room. So yeah, I'm in a new little setup here, and as you know, I moved to Nebraska, so checking in with everybody. And so I'm back home because we had to get some stuff in line in terms of the house, selling the house and getting all that stuff ready. So I'm in Green Bay. So when I come to Green Bay, and it's working out in a good way, so I'm gonna come here to stream. You see this little setup they got here? It's pretty dope. Another guy that's gonna be here, a guy that I know, Lautner, who is a Rocket League caster, will be coming. Well, I think he does his show out of here as well. So I'm gonna be here when I'm in Green Bay. I think this is a fantastic setup. And I remember years ago, if y'all remember any, I say diehard Gamer Lounge fans, I had a show that was called Gaming and Culture, and I did it locally here in the Edge Gamers Lounge here right off of Packerland. And I had a co-host by the name of Nixie, and her boyfriend Jake, actually now fiance, about to be husband. They were the background audio engineers, sound engineers, and Sean and Tony allowed me to come in and do the show. They allowed us then, and now I'm back here, and probably 4 or 5 years later, and still down the line doing the same show, different name, but same type of format. So it's fun to be here to see this and to be a part of basically the full circle coming around. So checking in with everybody. Hey, from the last week's show, I've been on the road. Obviously, I went on a cruise. Me and my wife had a nice little getaway. Now I'm back. Been working remotely from Lincoln, but still doing the podcast, still doing other stuff that I like the game. Haven't been streaming. I will get to game streaming once I get back to campus next week, and then I'll have some Halo, some Madden, maybe a little Valorant, some of the shooters, and I know probably get some Smash or some Mario Kart. I don't know. I'm just feeling playing some fun games. So, like I said, I'm rolling solo. How's the chat doing? What's up, Mad Max? Doing good, man. Good morning to you as well. So I'm going to get on to the quick hit news bites here. I got some fun stories here. I say a game that is very, very popular, and a game that I've been asked to play for a long time. It has this going on with it. So Tarkov develops issue update on cheating bastards and other related scum of the earth, but players aren't buying it. That sounds like a quote from Star Wars. If I want to bring it up, and the article goes on to read, and the article is by way of PCGamer.com. You can go check it out there, and it pretty much talks about the cheating within the game, and I'll read the first paragraph here. So, Battlestate Games' Escape from Tarkov remains still in early access for a long time, since 2017. So, one persistent strain of the latter has always been cheaters. For every game out there, from Call of Duty, as they mentioned in here, Warzone, but incredibly frustrating to come when you have an experience where an accumulated of loot and gear are a fundamental part of Escape from Tarkov. So that's a game where I'm still learning about, and it's all about, it's a survival game. That's one thing I know. And all the gamers that I know, the players that I coach, they always talk about, coach, you got to play this, but it's not the normal type of game. So you're going to have some adjustments in learning how to play. So if the cheaters are basically logging in and getting all the loot that they need and haven't put the time and the grind in, then I can understand the frustration here for anybody that's played that game. Everybody tells me that it's either you're going to love it or hate it type of comments about it. So I'm kind of like, oh, okay. And for a game, I say if it's a game that's recommended me, I'll try it out, and I'll usually stick with a game like that, especially it's a shooter. I love shooter games. I play a lot. I play just about all the shooter games, but I'm not great at them, but I like playing them. But I like playing it with people I know, like Warzone. I'm not going to just play solo because I'll run off. I don't like people that run off and leave me lonesome. So we got Matt Max is liking this setup. Oh, yeah. This is the setup at Green Bay Edge Gamers Lounge here right off of Packerland. So appreciate that. They're going to definitely appreciate that. Cashed Out Gaming says, good seeing you. Dude, welcome back. Thank you. So, yeah, if you play, I know Mad Max, I know Sergeant Maul, if he shows up, you guys are Escape from Tarkov players. So, understanding this, so Battle States goes on to say in the next paragraph here, it goes public about a ban wave. So it's never too long before the complaints start popping up. They reached a fever pitch recently after the recent wipe, with a widespread feeling that the problem was that the problem was worse than ever. So now Battle State CEO Nikita Bayanov has addressed the community in a manner that could be described as blunt. Man, that's why I mentioned earlier about the Star Wars quote, because Nikita just said, you know what, I'm going to keep it real, and he did. He kept it real. I can't tell if that's a guy or a girl name, kind of goes both ways there. But it says in this, it posted him in a post titled "Hackers, Cheaters, and Other Scum of the Related Scum of the Earth." Bayanov continues on in that vein. Tough as we see, not everyone impressed. Every time for a long time, unfortunately, one way or another, a problem with cheaters pops up, which is a very true statement. Bayanov writes, and people immediately start blaming us for not caring. They begin to bury the game. And so you have Bayanov just going on stating the fact of them being transparent with the gamer of Tarkov. If you play it, don't be mad at them. They're doing their best to keep the cheaters out. So Bayanov also says that the studio is sensitive to such criticism, which is quite amusing, the context of Tarkov, being one of the most bleak and brutal games out there, and says that rather than writing an essay, he'll make some following points. So his following points right here, if you could read on, and he actually made this into an actual letter out to the fans or the gamers, the players that play the game. So we have always been concerned about the problem, and the work to catch the cheaters is always going on. This usually comes in waves. Right now, we've banned several thousand cheaters a day, and usually most of them are blocked after playing a little bit. So this sounds very familiar to what is going on with Call of Duty Warzone. You could say maybe Halo, but a lot of games out there have the hackers, have the cheaters that gets the weapons that you get from playing 4 or 5 hours on in, and they get it instantly once they lock in. Or like in Call of Duty, what I've seen, the aimbots, where you actually have the person that if you are the person cheating, you see where the other players are on the map. You know exactly where they are. You know where to shoot. You can shoot through the wall and get a headshot. So when you don't have those type of, I say, hacks in your game, that's what they're referring to. And Battle Eye, which is the anti-cheat that continues to improve, as well as the cheats, as I mentioned here in this, from Nikita's points of reference of what they're doing to stop this. So for the fans, won't give them all the criticism. So it says it's an eternal race to see who can get past each other each other's defenses the fastest. In the last week alone, the Battle Eye is like really close. So Battle Eye has been updated 4 times. So that is to the fans of Escape from Tarkov. The game has been firewalled, cleaned up 4 times in the last, I would say, week or so, or a couple weeks or a month. So I say with that, as a fan, you got to give them, a little time, to get their games get the game cleaned up. And it's not going to be perfect. We all know that. It's technology. You got to look at it. I look at technology as like the weather. Like the weather is going to change every day. When you turn on your PC, you turn on your console, your Xbox, your PlayStation, your Switch, something doesn't work, audio goes out, it's lagging a little bit, you just gotta roll with it. You gotta have the patience. And so with Escape from Tarkov, it's a popular game. Everybody loves playing it. I just watched yesterday, I watched Dr. Lupo not only play Escape from Tarkov, that's one of his main games, but he also played the game I'm gonna talk about later, is Destiny 2, the Lightfall update. Played that as well. So you got to understand, you got to have patience with these companies. You know what they're dealing with. And I think Nikita had done a great job of explaining with these points to let people know, look, we're not just sitting back in the chair and creating a game and then not fixing it and not keeping the game fun, not keeping the game fair. So he's basically wrote these points to put it out to you. So this is kind of the generic here, but you could go on an article and this is the official statement that you could go on to Reddit, go to the Escape from Tarkov Reddit page, and he has the same points that Nikita Bayanov, if I'm saying that name correctly, I think I'm butchering it, I know I am. But here's his points to the fans to say, hey, we're basically saying that, look, we know the problem, we're addressing it, we're trying to fix it, give us some time, be patient, and it's going to work out right. We're going to get it right. So I think that is transparency from a gaming company, because you don't see a lot of companies doing this. You don't see Activision doing this. You don't see EA doing this, and they may do it, and I might have missed it if they haven't done it in recent past when games have not been working, or there's cheaters among the gamers that are playing online games, stuff like that. So to have this from a gamer, from the COO of this company that developed this game, I think this is definitely tip their hat, and that's a game that I always wanted to play, and I'm gonna finally get into it. I just downloaded it probably a couple weeks ago, but so obviously with my transitioning going on, I haven't jumped into it yet, but I will with one of my faculty members on campus. He is a Escape from Tarkov player, so I'm gonna jump in with him. Arsana, that's who I'm talking about here. What's up, Average Historian? Thanks. Yeah, nice setup. Yeah, this is Green Bay's Edge Gamers Lounge right off Packerland, not far from the stadium. And my good friends here is Tony and Sean and Aaron. There's part of the esports. He's director of esports. Sean and Tony own the building. They do production. And so now, as we know, production entails to esports. They kind of go hand in hand. So I was able to reach out to them over the weekend. I've been back since Friday and asked if I could come and do my podcast here. And this is actually where it started, where if you go on YouTube and you search Gaming and Culture WFRV, if they still have that up, if they still run it, they might be. And I'll look for it later at the end of between now and the end of the show to see if they still might have that up. We could look at some probably like 5 years ago of me and Nixie doing this. I know Mad Max, you were here then. I think you were here then. You might remember Nixie. What's up, Fortnite Dad? How you doing? Yeah, this is a fantastic studio, Fortnite Dad. Everybody coming in. So in the article, like I'm reading, you could go on to read how Nikita, from the CEO of Escape from Tarkov, just go on and express his feelings and understanding, and getting the gamer to understand, like, look, it's going to be problems with gaming. With these games, they're at the bevy. I say they at the bevy of hackers out there. And like you mentioned, they're trying to. It's a race. When a new game comes out, there are people out there that's like trying to destroy this new game, and that's what happens. And so at least he is making a point to say to the crowd, to the fans, hey, look, we know the problem, and we're addressing it, and we're gonna keep fixing it. Just like I mentioned, have patience, and we'll get it fixed. And you gotta work with us. Don't not like us. We're working on that. So a game I'm gonna talk about. So head over to the next Quit and Hit News Bite game that is out. Actually, one of the games on my game releases I'm gonna hit up is Destiny 2 Lightfall update. So the update leaves some first bad impressions on some of the diehard Destiny fans. I'm a diehard Destiny fan. I'll say I was. I'll be honest. I was when it first came out. I was all over Destiny. It was right after I was done playing ball, probably 2009. So around, I think it was like 2012 when it dropped. And me and my friend Jesse were on it all the time. I mean, you could sit on 3-4 hours of Destiny and may not get a crack done, but it was still fun. You know, you're building out your character. You're getting different skins. You're getting different skins for your guns, for your character, and more powerful weapons and all that. So in the start of the article, it says here, ahead of the week's Lightfall release, Destiny 2 was on a roll. Season of the Serape delivered on every front, including a terrific final mission, concluding in a cutscene showing the series' infamous white orb called the Traveler, finally getting us off its ass. So the pre-release marketing campaign for Lightfall was hitting on all cylinders, getting fans hyped for an epic showdown of the previous unexplored planet Neptune. Then the new expansion launched on Tuesday, so just yesterday, opening a dramatic space battle on Earth, above Earth, breaking down the all-time concurrent player record on stream in the process, but it was been downfall since then. So again, I say gamers out there, you gotta be patient. The game just got updated, the company's excited, they're making you excited, and you go play it and you get caught up in the hype, and then now you feel like, oh my god, it's not even fun or that special. But you got to realize, what all the hype involved, there is that part of, well, you know what, let me see how it happens, how the game plays out for myself. I know the company hyped it up, and there was commercials, or there was updates, and this, that, and the other. And I do this like when I watch movies. I have a group of friends, we're all comic book buddies, and when we go watch a movie, thank you, and got it. And so when we watch a movie, if we're with each other or not with each other, we text each other and be like, hey man, I loved it, or man, hey man, I hate it. It's like, at the end of the day, regardless of what the movie comes out, go see it for yourself or play it for yourself. This is one article that's over at Kotaku. I picked it up, and so you can read the article, read through it, but at the end of the day, play the game yourself. Find out what you liked about it, find out what you didn't like about it, see what's good and bad about it. I mean, it sound from the times I used to play it, they've done a really good job of storytelling, and a very good job of also giving you a ton of gameplay, because you could play for 3-4 hours and still have another 3-4 hours to play in Destiny. So this is a game, that's why I picked it up. But obviously with my life and the changing, coaching and stuff, what have you, I could not sit on this game unless it's a Saturday or Sunday where I really have nothing to do, nothing to watch. Yeah, I'll go sit play 4 hours with some Destiny 2, but still a fun game. So yeah, and again, so just have that philosophy so you don't get frustrated a whole lot, because you'd be disappointed in a lot of stuff if you're just trying to find a game that's going to just be the perfect game to play and it hits all your points of loving a video game or loving a movie or loving a comic book or loving anything. Just know it's going to be a few negatives, but don't let those negative turn your opinion off about a game, because Destiny 2 overall, the franchise has done very well for itself in terms of long lasting. It's been around for almost 10 years now, and so yeah, go over to Kako, finish the article, and it mentions about all the updates, new storyline, old characters. Warlock Horus is involved, Cloud Strider and Rohan, excuse me, all characters here. And then this is the part I loved right here, was dressing out my character, going with different colors. I like my favorite color blue, so I could always scheme my skins, my outfit, my costume to a blue, to navy, to dark, to midnight, to Carolina blue, or what have you. So that was the fun part I liked with Destiny. So check it out. They have a big update this week, and it's still going on. And like I said, I watched Dr. Lupo on his stream yesterday, and I think he played it for 3-4 hours, and the way he plays, I think he got finished with it, but he said he had more to go. So turn over to him. I know he'll probably be on today, probably on right now. Check him out, Doug Lupo. But you can go to Kotaku to finish the article, and there's another page too where this breaks down more of the campaign that the new update has brought into Lightfall for this year, this DLC for Destiny 2. So a couple. This was I think was clicked off at here. His Army of the Dark Pyramids corner Earth and the Travelers. If you click that, it takes you to another article there that brings in more of the the legendary difficulty is back or is available as well. So you might want to check on that too. JFK, yep, thanks for the setup, man. So where I'm at, so I'm gonna plug. So it is Titletown. So this is Edge Gamers Lounge, and they've been running Titletown Rocket League stream here live on Wednesdays at 7:30. Titletown's, and then also it's Titletown's Edge Gamers Lounge, correct? Yep. On Facebook,
So
I think.
It'll be on Titletown's Facebook page.
Yep.
It'll be live on there.
It'll be live on there for the Rocket League stream this evening at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So check that out. And we're going to head over to that fun conversation of this or that.
This or that.
All right, let me get set up. And if you have not been following me, missed that. Now we got that. Rolling solo here. All right, first one on the list here. And I saw the quit hitting news bites at the bottom, just so you know. All right, first this or that up on the day. Bad haircut or bad dye job. Well, I haven't done the dye yet. I know music's a little loud. JFK? Yeah, I figured it was. We're working on it. Yeah, we can turn down a little bit over there, Sean. Appreciate you. But bad haircut or bad hair day? I said, well, I get my hair braided now, so it's not really looking for a smooth haircut. My thing is, it gets long, so just lining up my edges. So I'm not really going for a fantastic. I'm looking for some cool lines up like I used to do as a kid when I got the Batman symbol cut in the back of my head when I was like 12 because of the movie. But I'm gonna have to go probably bad dye job because I'm thinking about dyeing my hair one time for the stream, and like I mentioned, favorite color is blue, so hopefully it could go off right. But I've heard horror stories where people, they go for a certain color and it turns out another color. So I rather do I said bad. Actually, I would rather do bad haircut because it'll just grow out. Bad dye probably takes longer, so I'm gonna switch that. I'm gonna do bad haircut. JFK says bad dye or bad. This says bad day. Which bad day is that? Haircut or dye day? JFK. All right. See if we get any more from the chat here. Yeah, I say the dye, as I heard it takes a longer time for the dye. Okay, bad dye day. That's what I thought. Wasn't sure. So I'll probably do bad haircut because I'll let it grow on out. The dye will sit there for a while. You probably sitting with a color that you don't like. BR Facial says bad haircut too. Yeah, I'm with you there. Haircut because I could just let it grow out, and then bad dye you can't, and it'll be there for at least a week if not longer. And people will be like, what? Why is your hair pink? I thought it was supposed to be blue, or yellow. You don't want that. You don't want. JFK says I don't want to cut my hair. No, yeah, I remember, Jamie. Your hair is pretty long, so yeah, don't want to cut it. Definitely don't want to have a bare haircut day. So dye, yeah, you don't want to lose what you earn there. We got Nick 9111 says I'd rather have a bad haircut because I can't just keep cutting, but I go bald to get rid of the dye probably. Yeah, you would have to go cut all your hair off, literally. You have to literally cut all your hair off to get the dye out of there. All right, next one on the list here. Fun one here. We had what we had last week. We had dressing babies as adults or animals in the characters, something like that. Here's another one right here. There we go. It says talking pets or talking babies. I know we've seen so many movies. Look Who's Talking, where Bruce Willis did the voiceover and his whole group of friends right after him. The dog talk. Was that talking pets for Sean in the background there? I would go talking pets. Like babies, I've been around kids. I had my own kids, and I kind of could read a kid. I know, even though they do the baby talk, I know what they're saying. I get it because they're either hungry. With a little baby, it's either they're hungry or you got to change their diaper. It's that simple. If you pay attention as a parent, I was a babysitter, when I was in my teenage years, so I understood that. But talking to pets, to understand my dogs, that would be awesome. Because I have two big English Mastiffs that are babied, spoiled by their mom, and love them to death. But sometimes they just give her, they'll give her a look, and she would be like, she just narrates what they're saying through the look, and most of the time it's not good. I just laugh. I was like, you just assume they're always mad at you or something, cussing you out. So I would love to know what my dogs say. So talking pets for me. BR Facial says talking pets. JFK says talking babies. What do you say? Please, I need to know what my son is crying about. Right. Hey, how old? If he's 3 or younger, it's usually food or got to change his diaper. At about 3, maybe he wants something because they're understanding that needs and wants of things and toys and all that stuff. But usually 3 and down to 0, feed him, put him down for a nap, or change his diaper. There you go. We out here. It says, oh, this new here. The SW3D3 says kids are older now, so pets, okay, but maybe. And then JFK says, or Nick says, maybe he saw a ghost. Maybe he did see a ghost. JFK says 6 months. Nah, it's 6 months. Yes. Yeah, so it's just nap time, feed, change the diaper. So when the baby starts crying, do one of those. Check the diaper first. You'll know if you fed. You know, it's dinner time or it's lunchtime. You'll know that time. All right. Next one on the list, we're at the 3s and E's. The 3s and E's. You gotta let me know what you're doing there. The SW3D3. All right. Next one up on this or that. Test the waters or dive right in. Oh, this is easy for me. I dive right in. Anything I do, especially the literal swimming pool metaphor where this comes from, is I don't put my big toe in. I just jump. I take a 3 steps back and I take off, run, and jump in the pool. So anything in life I've done, you know, one reason why I went to the NFL, I said, you know what? I'd rather bet on myself, go to the draft, see what happens. And I was told one thing, but something else happened. But in the long haul of things, it turned out very well for myself. But for anything else I do, like getting into streaming and, doing a podcast, I went in head first. I just came in like, you know what? I don't know a whole lot, but I know I want to talk about something. I have some ideas here. I'm going to grow them, whatever. Playing a video game. If I had never played it, you know what? I'll figure it out. That's a gamer mentality. I'll figure it out. So like I said, I'm off for jumping in the deep end quick. Doesn't scare me. You got some diving, JFK diving on in like it. I figure you were that type of person. Nick here says, dive in. When I start a new hobby, I go all in. You have to. Don't go half-ass. If you do something, go 100%. At least mess up. And one thing from my playing days, a coach told me when I was young in the league, he said, if you mess up going full speed. He said, because we can't coach effort. But if you're messing up and you're going 100 miles per hour, we could then fix that. At least you got the effort. But if you have no effort, we're not gonna. That's even tough to try to teach and coach a player effort. But if you're showing effort already, then half the problem is gone. So now he's got to guide you. All right, man, slow down. This is the route. This is the direction you should be going. Just timber it down a little bit. We love the effort, though. So that's one thing the coach told me, and it stuck with me my whole career. We have the 3 _ SW says dive in. It's Swede. Oh, Swede. Here we go. Swede. Thank you for that correction there. No problem. All right, next one on the list on here, and this was a fun one. Everybody's going to like this one. This one might make you hungry. All right, French fries or onion rings? When you're rolling through the drive-thru, Sean, what you got? That's a hard one, really? Yeah, it's fries. I like to mix it. I mix it up with the onion rings too. It depends on where I'm. Right. Yeah, you do. You get way more French fries. Depends on where you go. If you go to Five Guys, oh my goodness, they give you a duffel bag of French fries there at Five Guys. McDonald's, I'm the bottom of the bag fries guy at McDonald's. You put the fries in the bag and some fall out. I try to get those from everybody. My wife tried to jack me too. She's like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "What? I'm just eating the fries at the bottom of the bag. Leave me alone. I want out." But I'm gonna go onion rings here. I'm an onion rings guy. I like to throw that on my. We got French fries. We got Fortnite Dak, onion rings, JF cake, French fries. The Swede says, "Was that the Iron Brown that coached you like that in high school?" Oh, no, that was in the league. It was in the league. And then when I heard that from that coaching advice, Nick says, "Depends on the onion rings. Good onion rings over fries." Yes. I say I'm trying to say who had the best onion rings that I've had. I can't even. I know French fries. Five Guys fries are awesome. McDonald's fries are good. Here in Wisconsin and the Midwest, Culver's fries are pretty good. They got the crinkle fries. We got down south with JFK, Checker fries. They're good. Okay, I've heard of Checkers. And of course, being in the upper Midwest, so Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan, Minnesota, cheese curds. You can put that on the Culver's order. Switch your combo. You get the Culver's Deluxe. You don't want fries, you don't want onion rings, get the cheese curds. So good shout out there to Average Historian. Love that. Fortnite Dad. Fortnite Dad says Fridays. Oh, Fridays. Yeah, Fridays has some good. I mean, I haven't been to Fridays in a while. I need to get over there. That says JFK said I only had Outback onion rings. Now those are good, and it's it come in an appetizer like the Funyun. It's like the bloomin' onion. That's what it's called, bloomin' onion. And the cheese curds, Mr. $1 says cheese curds, the real Wisconsin answer. Of course. All right, next one and the last one of the day. This is a education one, since obviously I'm starting classes up here in the spring. We got visual learner or verbal learner. Which one are you? I know what I am. I'm visual all day. I got photographic memory sometimes. But I want to say visual. I say I learned this once I got to college, because obviously with playing football, watching film, and then when I had a coach try to coach me up on something new that I had to learn on the field, talking me through it got me halfway there, and then seeing it on video another quarter way there, and then once I got on the field and did it, boom, then it was all like boom, I got it now. So seeing the video and then like talking through it helps me out. It does give me a little insight, but then actually doing it physically, visually and physically doing it, then boom, it's like stuck in my memory, then I'll never forget it. JFK says, visual, show me what gap to run through. Right, there you go. Show me the gap, show me the hole, show me how to pick up the linebacker fit. Like, let's do it. Like, we're gonna talk about it in the meeting room, and then when we get on the practice field, then show me how we gonna fit up. Where I put my right hand, where I put my left hand, where I'm gonna steer them off into getting them out of the way of the quarterback. Same with playing video games. When I was out with UEL, shout out to 300, he's part of the board. He took over more of a CEO role. And I remember I went there. I'll be actually heading back out to VA with the playoffs for season 7's coming up for the UEL. If you haven't not been watching the UEL, check it out. Season 6 playoffs is this weekend. First round, second weekend, and championship weekend is 2 weeks from this past weekend. I remember going out there my first time, and I had 300 sit me down, and I hadn't played Dead by Daylight and Friday the 13th in a while, and he showed me in like 5 minutes all the buttons I needed to win and what I needed to do to win in Friday the 13th and Dead by Daylight. And it was 5 minutes of me looking at the controller, listening to what he said. So verbally he was talking, but then visually he was showing me the buttons on the controller. Oh, little tech. Yeah, somebody, we got Ghost up in here, Sean. So he showed me the buttons on the controller and on the keyboard, and boom, I had the game and actually win it. I won a couple rounds of Friday the 13th out there at my first trip to Fredericksburg, Virginia. We got season 7 coming up. You can sign up. So now if you go over to UEL, you go to they're on Instagram, they're on Twitter, Facebook. You can scan in to be a part of season 7 if you live in the Fredericksburg, VA area. They have fun games. They have the wheel. You got 33 games that you got to try to compete. You got to hopefully know all 33. You have several players that know them, that can compete in them. And we gamers, you should know. From shooters, sports. So it's shooters, sports, fighting games, RTS or like League of Legends stuff, games like that. And I think that's it. I think I might have missed a category. Fortnite Dog, you can correct me if I missed the category there for all the games of the wheel that get played there over on UEL. So, all right, we are done with that. So, like I said, I'm visual all day. Visual all day. All right, we're headed over to game releasing now. Let's get that going.
It's time for the game releases. Game releases.
All right, game releases. As I mentioned, we got Destiny 2 update of Lightfall DLC right here. This is, like I said, the game 2012, I believe, when it dropped, and now they're probably into their 5th or 6th updates. There you go. Sports, strategy, fighters, shooters, and racers. That was the one I forgot. Fortnite, that racing games. But this is not a racing game. This is a RPG shooter, Destiny 2, and it's been around, like I said, for a long time. But the new Lightfall update is a huge expansion to the gameplay, and another 3-4 hours of gameplay per day in this. And the weapons are more dynamic. You got more skins coming at you, and there's more powerful, I say, between yourself characters and the monsters or the warlocks. You got to battle out. So EA Respawn has done it again for me. I like what I'm seeing already. I watched this preview last night. I'm watching it again right now. It looks great. It's fun, and the team play is fun. The comms are easy. Call outs is just getting all the different weapons that you can get to be in this game makes it all fun, because you have double, triple barrel shotgun and a rapid fire sniper rifle. So it's just always been fun. Glad it's back. Like the update. Download it now. We got Season of Defiance. Ooh. Fun game. Fun game there. Fun game. Let me get ready for this next game here. Ooh, you're gonna like this one. There we go. And that what was it? Destiny is on all platforms. Give me a birthday. There we go. All right, next game coming up on the list here. Let me get all set up here. This is Wu Long Final Dynasty. All right, this game comes out on Friday. It's a new dark fantasy Three Kingdoms action RPG from Team Ninja, the developers of Neo, a popular game in itself. So this actually Kyo Tecmo Games here. Like you said, action RPG, very difficult. Kind of reminds me of Ghost of Tsushima, which is a game fantastic game I still love playing. So see a game like this, you got the big battles, you got the big weapons that you gotta learn, you gotta max out, and you gotta learn the rhythm of the big boss at the end, to beat the end boss, in the map boss battles. Learn that little pattern of when they're throwing their weapons at you, so you can get away, because you got a lot of big weapons yourself. You got to learn how to control. So that's a single player online PvP, online co-op. And it's on Steam, it's on consoles as well, Xbox, PlayStation. You can check out all those. Those are some of the skins you get on the launch and the digital edition there as well. So big game there, out this Friday, even though it says March 26th. That's no date there. Don't listen to that. I've been doing this the last couple weeks. I don't know if y'all really like it. It's the honorable mentions of games coming out. Let me get ready for this one real quick. I left one more thing I wasn't ready for. Where we at here? Give me a second. There we go. Got it. What? That is not it. Nope, I didn't. Here we go. There it is. There it is. All right, here we go. This is my honorable mention. I think I'm saying it right by saying Rytos. You know, these fun little mappable games. I would say easy. I say puzzle games. So it's relaxing puzzle game where you create music by solving mazes. So travel from planet to planet and discover new music. Jam on the top of the music from the planet with a great selection of 20 plus fun unlockable music toys. So this is a game like reminded me, like, I love simple games like Tetris. It's not much to think about. You just do it, but then having the music element where you actually create something, which I'm not that person. I'm not a musical person, but I'll try to come up with something funky. You know, I like jazz, I like rap, I like hip hop. I don't know if you can go and do all that with this game, but that's kind of what it's referencing. The developer here is called Floppy Club. The game is due out, I believe, today, and this is on PC for sure. I don't know if it's on consoles and everything. You see the messages here. So we had Clone Chopper said played the whole campaign yesterday. Oh yeah. So talking about Destiny 2, so you see played the whole campaign yesterday. Expansion is massive, tons of quests that I have to do yet. I plan on doing that day one raid. There you go. And then Hologram, I love the name Hologram. Just found my stream. Oh, just found your stream. Saw you play in Lincoln as a teenager. Massive Seahawks fan. Good to see you doing. Hi. Well, thank you, Hologram. Appreciate that. Nick, he says, I'm a big fan of the Three Kingdoms. So, referencing Destiny time period. This game is loosely set in. Oh no, that's Wulong, I believe. But I'm bad at Soul games, so I'm torn. Oh, gotcha. And then we had Hydrogen Peroxide. Hydrogen Peroxide said, "Hey, Ahman, your studio looks great." Hey, thank you. It's not my studio. I am, getting it lent to me from my good friends Tony and Sean and Aaron here at Edge Gaming Lounge here off of Packland in Green Bay, Wisconsin. So shout out to them. And this week, they got actually tonight. So Titletown Rocket League stream is tonight live on tonight at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and you could go to Titletown's Facebook page and for April 1st for the finals of the Rocket League and the Rocket League tournament or season. There you go. And I say, since I'm obviously been transitioning between here and Nebraska, so when I do come, I'm gonna still come to Green Bay. I've been here for 22 years. I played football here, and my career got started here pretty much. I'm always be back. So every now and then we'll have an episode when I come in town. We already set it up, talked about it. When I come in town, this is where I'll be streaming from. This place is awesome. It looks great. And now we can head over to what's on stream. Hope everyone's been watching.
Row your boat gently on the... sorry.
Last of
Excuse
Us.
me.
There's
It's
Corey
time
Lewis
for
coming up.
What's on Stream.
All right. We got like I said, Last of Us episode 3 and 4 coming on here. Let me get to the banners. Boom. So Last of Us episode 3, when you're long time, and episode 4, please hold my hand. And so episode 3 starts off with Joel and Ellie, like it said right on the screen, 10 miles outside of Boston. They're trying to find their way to Wyoming, and get Ellie. Joel is trying to get Ellie over to, I think, not sure if it's I forgot. Remind me, Firefly? Is it the Fireflies? Because the Fireflies are bad people. Or they're a group I know they don't like. So he's trying to get her across the land safely. It's coming up in this house right here. Is this where he stashed some weapons before, and he's going to visit Frank and his husband. And that was the article I brought up a few weeks ago, where people were having, I'll say ignorant people, not understanding, that the writers, the showrunners of Last of Us wanted to put in something of a different point of view from the game, because in the game we're following Joel and Ellie. In both games we're following Joel or Ellie the entire time in both Last of Us 1 and 2, but they just wanted to add in a different storyline. I'll get to that when that pops on the screen here, but until that time, right now we got Joel and Ellie, transversing their way, walking their way to getting to somewhere safe, and as they're seeing different things going on in the world, plane crashes, that zombie, or was it the clicker, and the way I like the showrunners, the way they wrote up the zombies, where obviously it's not transferred through, obviously it is transferred through a bite, but also having the little like tentacles that come out, and how they can basically talk through the tentacles, the zombies can. So that's a way how they track you and how they find you so fast. And as you see, if you've seen all the episodes, I believe it's episode 8 is out now, episode 7 is out now, where I think it was episode 4 or 5 where you saw a big battle happen between the Fireflies. Got a commercial from StreamYard here, but when you saw the Fireflies searching out another group, and they came across a big group of zombies that came out of the ground, as we've seen in the game sometimes. But in this part of episode 2, this is where when the virus first hit Earth and became a global pandemic, they took some people, they cleared out areas, lying to them, saying, hey, we're just evacuating to clear out this area, but they were actually evacuating to basically kill everybody, because they didn't know how the virus was spreading. And so this is Frank, who basically was able to seclude a part of a town where now he actually knows Joel, and he knows Joel very well. So he was able to secure a safe home and a town, and basically like booby trapped it. And that's where he catches his soon-to-be husband Frank here in a hole through one of the traps. He's lucky it wasn't one of them bombs. So it tells the story from that point of view, and that's what I was referring to about the article earlier that I talked about later a couple months ago, that people were having problems with, because obviously they were trying to figure out why is this story being told, and the whole homophobic side of it, where people don't understand. It's like, no, you gotta. It's 2023. You gotta learn that it's a lot of other people in this world trying to live and have to be represented in stories and entertainment, and that's what the showrunners from Last of Us have done. So I appreciate it. I thought it was a fantastic way to put something in a story that, from the gamer's point of view, we know the story. I played both Last of Us, and to have this in here, just it's interesting to see their point of view, because they really didn't have to deal with a whole lot until they got old and sick, or they had the one time, it shows in this episode, where they had a group of humans trying to attack their home, and Frank had booby trapped the whole house, so they were safe. He did get shot, but he was out there shooting because he was making sure nobody would come through the fence for him and his husband. Trying to think of his name. I know Frank is one. I can't remember the other one, but it just shows their existence during the apocalypse in the first 20 years, and that they really didn't have to deal with a whole lot. So I like seeing this point of view. It gives you a different look at of what Joel and Ellie and everybody else dealing with each other. So there's when that's Joel and at that time his girlfriend, Tess, thank you, Sean. Tess, before she passed away, where they actually met up, and why Joel knew where to go, taking Ellie across country to know where he could stop and replenish, actually get rest, get food. He has a friend in Frank, and they both are guys that know how to survive, obviously. And so that's where you see this scene where they actually, because Joel mentioned that to Ellie, hey, I'm going to a friend's house, we could rest up there and then continue to get to Wyoming to my brother, and then get you off to where you are needed because of what you are, having the virus and you didn't turn. So as I mentioned, here's the fight scene here of the people, of the humans, not the zombies, the humans. And I think that's always been a oxymoron in any zombie movie. The last people you have to worry about the worst people you have to worry about is not even the zombies most of the time. It's actually the other humans in the area that you're staying in. So this wraps up episode 4 here, and at the end, like I said, it shows you their whole life together during the 20 years to then I can't think of his name. I'm gonna get his name, but he gets old and sick, and I'm not sure if it's Parkinson's or ALS, but he has some disease where his body starts to break down. He can't hold himself up. He can't walk. That's why he's in a wheelchair. But it just shows them transversing their lives and not really been bothered by the zombie outbreak. Not really been bothered other than that one incident with the humans trying to attack and come to their home. So just dealing with the normal life almost. When you didn't see that playing a video game, you didn't see that playing Last of Us 1 or Last of Us 2, when you're always trying to maneuver around a horde of clickers or the zombies around certain areas that you're trying to transverse through. So on that note, it's like right at the end, I think one of them passes away here, and that's the end of episode 3, excuse me. So it is, when you're long time. So yeah, that's like I said, 20 years in an episode there, and 45 minutes. It's just interesting how you can do that. All right, and then Joe shows up, and actually when he shows up, they already have passed, because Frank, once his husband passed away, I think he took his own life because he obviously did not want to live without him. So that's where we're coming up on this end of the video here for episode 3. When you're long time, for Last of Us, episode 4 coming up. I will switch it over there real quick. And episode 4 and then episode 3, and I say through the whole time with Ellie getting adjusted to Joel. As you know, he is not in a good mood most of the time with her. He's mostly, when she's trying to connect with him, he's like being an old crotchety old man, and which he is, but he's been through a lot, as we know. If you play both games, Joel has been through hell and high water, so his humor is kind of been beaten out of him, but Ellie, she doesn't quit. She is still trying to connect with him, get him to laugh, get him to smirk a little bit, and you see them through the scenes, through the fights, through the shootouts, through the maneuvering around the clickers, the zombies, that she still finds a way to try to lighten the situation, lighten the mood, and he's trying to teach her how to survive. And he's trying to be serious because he knows what the reality is where they're at in America, with the zombie outbreak, and she's like trying to be a teenager, trying to be a kid, trying to just live with things, and but have a good point of view, have an optimistic point of view about things. So she's working on them, and she does crack them. And then you see them here. They actually get ambushed here by, I'm not sure if it's the Fireflies, but a group of other bad humans, or humans trying to survive. And I say that's just the pure irony of all this, where, like you said, you got these zombies that are pretty much ruling the world, but then you have the humans now that are creating their own militias, creating their own governments, and trying to bring another form of control to the planet during this time. And when you really don't, I say for myself, you shouldn't have that, but it may be like this. If we ever, I say in reality, just say if we ever get to this point, this is stuff that we'll be ready for. If you pay attention to practical things, watching shows like this, if this does ever happen during our time on this planet, we kind of know what to do. We kind of know where people will go and try to do control and all this stuff, so at least you'll be ready for that. But for watching it and seeing how the series goes, it's other than episode 3, everything has been, canon from the storyline. It's been fantastic. The show writing from the writers of this show. Can't wait to see the season finale there. See Ellie, giving Joel a hard time there. But I say so far, this series is a must watch. I say, especially if you played the game. If you play the game, give this series a time of your week. The episodes are 45 minutes to an hour long. They're totally well worth it. And if you remember, like for me, I beat the last game probably like a year and a half ago now, so a while ago. So I would have to play it now to get reminded of some of the new stuff. That's Last of Us Part 2. The first one, Last of Us Part 3, that was like 5 years ago. So I had to really, I think I still have it on. I have it on disc. I had to put it in to really get reminded of all the little details, character names, what happened with this scene, what happened in that scene, stuff like that. So, so if you have both games, you have played both games, I would say give this game a run. You know, because as we know, we've seen a lot of movies. I mean, we talked about this on the podcast before. A lot of video games that are popular video games are now being transformed into movies and or TV series. And if you played them and you had fun playing them, give it a run, you know, watching it on the small screen or the big screen. We have Super Mario Brothers is coming up here actually this month now. It's March. Wow. February was a blink of an eye. It was a blink town. Went by so fast. But in March here, we have the Super Mario Brothers movie coming up here in a few weeks coming out. And so that's the game I believe everybody in my age demographic is definitely going to go watch and enjoy and love, having a good time, because of all the characters that we grew up that got me to where I'm at with gaming. I started with Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, Toad, and Bowser and his family. And now, you got all these different characters that are now being brought to life on the big screen. So I'm excited about that. So just like that, with Last of Us, these characters have been brought to life on the big screen and small screen. So small screen being on Netflix and TV, you can watch it. On HBO Max, and you can watch it and play it back over and over again to get reminded of how good the series, or maybe that wasn't in the game, this was in the game, or that was in the series, not in the game, stuff like that. You could kind of piece that together and have a good time watching it. So, hey, I appreciate y'all coming into the stream today. We're at the end of the show. So we have John back next week. Hopefully the Wisconsin Lady Badgers continue to win. I think they started, if I'm correct, they did start the Big Ten tourney this week, because I know we have some stuff on campus in Lincoln next week with the ladies and men's basketball in the Big Ten tourney too. I think the ladies is this week and men starts next week. So I think that's what it is. And I just saw this one comment from Mr. On Dollar here, says, just found you because I was invited to a dinner that you're speaking at tomorrow. Yeah. And excited to see you speak. Loving the content. Thank you, Mr. $1. So what he's referring to is I am tonight driving down to La Crosse, Wisconsin to be the speaker at the Boys Club of America banquet, where they're doing I think they're handing out awards to like the Boy Scouts, like say Eagle Scouts, the captain or whoever runs the program down there. I'm just coming in to speak as a guest note speaker there to the group of Boy Scouts. So I got asked to do that a couple months ago. I said, yeah, I'll do that. That's awesome. I never was a Boy Scout myself, but I say that's how I was raised. I was raised to help people and clean up my room, do my job, and have good grades, learn how to tie knots, and all that fun stuff that Scouts learn how to do. I was like, I do some of that stuff. I just never got really into the Boy Scout thing, but I thought I definitely respected them because I understood what had to go on, and I met some Eagle Scouts. I believe my brother-in-law is an Eagle Scout, which is pretty dope. I think that's like, in Valorant, what's that? Radiant, that's like top level right there. And call it Halo is Onyx. That's way up there on the ranking. So there you go. So next week we'll be back, same bat channel, same bat chime. I will be in Nebraska next week, so I won't have this. I'll have a different studio, because we do have a podcast studio near my office, literally right down the hallway. I think one floor up or right down the hallway, and I'm gonna be in that one. It won't be as awesome as this one, but it's gonna be awesome. Okay. So I'll be back next week, same bat channel, same bat time. I believe John will be back as well, and we're gonna have a very fun. And I might have to put maybe a PG-13 rating on this, on the special guest next week. I'll just say that. It's going to be an interesting one with this special guest. She has a way with words. I'll just say that. But you got to tune in to find out who that person is, because it's gonna be. If you miss out on next week, you could, it's a podcast. We could watch it anytime, but you want to see it live. Trust me, you want to see it live with our special guest next week. All I'm saying is that she needs to have a PG rating 13. I'm not gonna say who it is until next week. So you guys gotta come in and check it out. Fortnite Dad, the average historian, for sure. So everyone have a great rest of your week. Like I said, UEL playoffs, season 6 playoffs starting this weekend. We got starting on Friday and Saturday, and then continuing next 2 weeks of weekends. So I know the 17th and the 18th, that's when I'm gonna try to be in VA myself, to be there for the championship weekend as well. So I'm trying to get out there for that and watch it. And until then, go to UEL on Instagram and on Facebook. Follow. You can sign in if you live in the area and jump and try to get on a roster, get drafted. Check it out. I also excluded a lot of my team in excluded. We have Q, or below average Q. He is a fellow streamer. I owe him a butt kicking in Madden. He kicked my butt last time. I was off my game. He laid it. He laid it on me. So I owe him one. If not, we'll play some Valorant together too. That's my guy. Q's very good. And Joey Hernandez, shout out to him, the CEO of Excluded. Go and follow us on Team Excluded channel, where we got some of the streamers, some of the content creators, and some of the pros there. We have a Halo team that runs their Valorant team, I believe, too. And for you Madden players here and there, I'm being one of them. So check out Team Excluded. Follow, like on Instagram and Twitch and YouTube. All them places: Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok. Go find us. All right. So everyone have a great rest of your day, and thank you again, Edge Gamers Lounge. Sean over in the background, appreciate you. This is a fantastic studio. I remember, like I said, this is where it all started, and now coming full circle. It's awesome. So everyone have a great rest of your Hump Day Wednesday, and I'll see you guys next week.